fucking... Let's go, baby! Bomb arrows to the rescue. Ha! No way! Ah! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! You... What did I do? That was an accident. Freaking veto. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Dinal, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I am on mini back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished. Oh, time to beat. 23 hours, 28 minutes. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
Ping pang shmalam. What does that mean?
Wait, it went through? I gave him 50 bucks. Almost time. Let's go. Oh, no one got... Oh, Doctor got first. Damn. I was like, no one got first. Sheesh. Y'all suck. Yo. What's up, guys? I don't know why it plays from the middle of the song every time I press it. Doctor always gets first? Not always. Lately, not always. Just clips still haven't started. Huh? No, I started. I have started. That's just the waiting screen. It's the starting thing. The anime intro into the waiting screen into my face. I won. We won. What'd you win? You won in the game of life. Wow. Where's my wow button? Wow. Oh, I'm live. I just got a notification on my phone. Oh. This is Mother Russia? I hope not, bro. Actually, nah, I hope not. The ruble is tanking, bro. The ruble is tanking. I don't know why I keep looking here when you guys are here. This is Mother Russia. Your girlfriend becomes our girlfriend. My hand becomes your hand? What? Wow. I have to keep going back to press wow. I'm gonna tweet that I'm streaming. I usually don't do that. I'm gonna press the tweet button. Okay, we should be good to go. But first, how's everyone doing, bro? How's everyone doing? I watched a lot of Fairy today streaming. Weird guy. He's a weird... Nah, I'm joking. He's pretty chill, as we already knew. But him and Ed... What's her name? Pink... Uni was a mistake? Oh, Ed. Yeah? They were just chilling, drinking, getting drunker. Hey, what's up, Ping Pong? Ping Pong's playing some ping pong right now, unironically. So if you guys want to check out some actual ping pong content, check. Oh, Ping Pong stopped streaming. But if you want to check it out, because he'll be streaming in the future. I hope everyone is not getting an ad. There's an ad in progress right now. I forgot how broke I am. What would happen? My version of your stream is ahead of Uni was a mistakes. Okay. Bello, governor.
Hello there.
There you go. Shout him out. You have no clips, which is fine, of course. Shout out Ping Pong family if you want to see some ping pong. And if you want to see some Mario Kart, check out Fairy Nuff Muffin. I think he's 1 or 2 followers away from getting affiliate, so hopefully he has enough average views as well. But yeah. Alright, let's play some where are my buttons? I don't need my buttons. I'll use my mouse for once. Oh, the shout out worked? What? Okay, yeah. Here's Fairy. Oh my god, no. He has a beard now though and glasses, so he looks different. He's a different man. He's no. Oh well, I thought he was. He said no, but oh my god, that's him! It's so cool. Still hot. Aw. All right. What is he saying? Oh my god. This is so cringe.
Hello there.
Why are you making that sound, bro? That's sussy baka. Okay, how long is this clip, bro? I want to move on. Okay. What's the spiciest food you ever had? Yep. That is a long clip. Ads are over. Good timing. We're about to play Wordle. How you doing, ping pong? You're honestly pretty good at ping pong. It's like cool. It reminds me of me when I was like around your age, because I started playing when I was around your age. Mayonnaise. Good guess. Mayonnaise is the spiciest food you ever had? What the heck? How are you doing, doctor? How is your Japanese studying going? Are you still using the keyboard? The Japanese kana keyboard input? In the dark. Every time I see ping pong streaming ping pong, it makes me want to play ping pong. And every time I see Fairy streaming Mario Kart, it makes me happy that I have a computer that could handle streaming. Yeah, that's why I learned it. Yeah, that's why I learned it. Getting faster, not grinding or anything. Oh, okay. That's cool. Ha 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 ha. Can we get some words in here? For those that don't know how this game works, this is how it works. You get a green letter, and if it's in the right spot, that you're basically trying to guess the mystery word. If you get a green letter, that means it's the correct letter of the mystery word and in the right location. Yellow means it's the correct letter, not in the right location, and gray is just not in the word. That's oh, my category is Hollow Knight. Oopsies. I do think we will play Hollow Knight later on though. No Mario Kart, even though it's the March 10th. That's Mario Day. I don't care. Oh, wrong game. So, yeah. My issue was my internet, not my laptop. Yeah, I'm just playing with you, bro. But you're right. Rouse. Ooh, okay, we're getting somewhere. PP don't care. What do you mean? I put shine, like you said. I still wanna. I'm still wondering how you ate spicy mayonnaise, doctor. Yeah, I don't care about your internet. No, I care. It's honestly the most annoying thing about streaming. If you lose internet connection, that's honestly the most annoying thing. Because that's sometimes you can't control. So that could be very frustrating. Let's see. Pause. Nope. Look like I like you. By the way, you guys could song request music for now. Until Hollow Knight, essentially. And anyone that is subbed, check out the new emotes. And anyone who's not subbed, I'm sorry that you don't have them. But we have new emotes from they were new yesterday, but I feel like they're still new. So I'm saying they're new. Why? Okay, my buttons are not working. This is supposed to unpause all the paused rewards, and it doesn't work. I'll look at chat in a moment. My bad, guys. It like doesn't unpause it. It's so frustrating. I don't know why. Give me a second, y'all. See, it says paused. No. Oh, it unpaused. It didn't unpause everything. Punch me. Punch me and stress are still paused. Sorry for doing this on stream. Punch me. What happens to them? Why do they like? I don't get it. Punch me and stress. Punch me and stretch. I guess you guys don't need to see this. You could look at my face while I try to fix it. And now if I press unpause, hopefully everything unpauses. And then I'll look at chat. Extreme stretch, hats. Extreme stretch and hats. I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. I do it now for you guys to have more stuff to do, okay? Extreme stretch and hats. If you guys don't know who Eric Clapton is, look him up. All right, we're almost done. Boom, we're done. Such a good streamer. Fixing stuff on stream. Now you see all these no's, they're gonna turn to yeses. I mean yeses, they're gonna turn to no's. Huh? It's supposed to unpause. There we go. Boom, everything is no. Except the stuff I don't want to be no. What a beautiful song. Anyway. Yeah, those are the emotes. No, there's 3 emotes, but I mean, you have to be a tier 3 sub for the 3rd one. I was trolling, it's like a stereotype joke. Oh. Well, what is the spiciest you've ever had? I'm drunk and sober. We're walking. Bibble. Still want place. Wait, never mind. I'm dumb. Denell, you're illiterate. I noticed. Abuse. Wait, what abuse? There's no you. You guys are so bad. Wait, there's no you. Why do I read it? I should have read everything. What's for beat drop? What do you mean by beat drop? A bass. Yeah, it's good I didn't guess a bass. Actually, no, I guess I could have guessed it. College dropout part? Huh? College dropout part. I didn't drop out of college. Unless you're talking about uni was a mistake. When he says it in the song. Oh, I'm not even listening to the song. I don't like this type of music. Okay, the second letter is A. Farce? What do you guys think of farce? Oh, no, never mind. You and you and you. I don't really know the song. Who? Denell put this song probably? Oh, you added it, Ping Pong. Let me listen to it then. I hate your friends and they hate me too. What an insightful song. Let's say. No, the third letter is A. Wait. No, the second one is. You're right. Let's say might work. Not in word list. It doesn't work. How about place? Oh, the S is turning me off, I was about to say. Change. Confusing me. This song's pretty catchy. D's nuts? No. What is this word? Grease. Oh, that's not how you spell grease. You. Garce. What is this word? Whelms, whams, plaz. Are you guys excited for Friday tomorrow? It's Friday. Wow. Parse might be it. Wait, there's no R, bro. Why do I listen to you? Oh, it ends in APSE though. APSE. Faps. Lapse in judgment. I made a lapse in judgment by listening to you guys. Sheesh. Video unavailable. Nice. That's why no music is playing. It's always nice to hear. I love the song. If you knew it. You guys say, oh, both of you say lapse. Okay, let's see. Let's go. We almost lost because of Dinel's bad guesses, but it's okay. He guessed okay too. What is this? Bahamas? Cuba? It's Bahamas or Cuba? Ratio L. Oopsies. Oopsies. Yeah, I saw the no R Dinel afterwards. This one is you have to guess the country. Yeah. I mean, we could guess Asia, but I think it's Cuba. It's either Cuba or Bahamas. I'm going to say Bahamas because I'm a genius. It's not Bahamas. I honestly don't really know where the Bahamas are. It looks like it's on the Eastern Hemisphere, question mark? You know there's someone streaming for like over a month right now? That's Greece, no? I don't think so. Look, guys. She's been streaming for 123 days. Straight. And if you scroll up, you'll see I messaged, well, I was talking to her a bit, you know, because I was just talking to her. Anyway, what Philippines? It might be Philippines. I really don't think it's Greece. Simp? I wasn't simping. She is around my age though, but I wasn't simping. I don't know her like that. She's from New York and she moved to Texas. Anyway, talking to a woman you're not related to simp? Yeah, well, then I'll talk to your mom. Got it. Just kidding. I quit. All right, fine. I'll do Greece. I'll do Greece. Wow, let's go. I didn't realize it was Greece. Yo, what's up, Mac? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. You got accepted into school I applied for? Bro. Wrong button. Bro. Let's go. Very nice. Very nice. How are the drunk people doing? Why do I always do that? I always very nice. There we go. Jesus. Take me out. Na, 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 na. How's One Piece going, by the way? I'll find your house. You know what? I don't doubt you. Please don't look for my house. Don't do it. I got accepted ratio. I'm excited. I listened to you, doctor. I put Greece. But yeah, I was too dumb to realize. Wait, how does Greece... I thought Greece was this. Wait, Greece is all of it? I didn't realize that. I honestly didn't. You know what? In honor of Greece. Alright, that was dumb. Bad guess. Today I'm logging into the dark web. What? Do you actually know how to do that? I have no idea how to do that. You're excited? Hell yeah. It's good to be excited for school. You start next school year. Wait, when do you start? You finish Sabado? Nice. Too bad. No, it's a joke. Oh. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you are in the dark web. Search in the dark web. Who was the streamer you were looking at earlier for Now, if you're gonna jack off, do it in the bathroom, bro. Anyway. Sorry, kids. You were not supposed to hear that. I start in 6th grade. It's a middle school. Yeah, when does it... But you said I start next school year. Oh, like fall. Yeah? Gotcha. Maybe. Dark web is fun, though. Have you ever actually gone to it? All right. What country do we got here? Got mud on your face. Big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. You know what, guys? I'm gonna guess Azerbaijan. Yes. Nice. Let's go. Getting ready for fall. 6th grade teacher right now is fun. Nice. Is that a no? Don't be too weird, bro, okay? She's literally on the front page. Emily CC. And she's gone. She knew you were coming, so she left. Weirdo. Azerbaijan. Damn it. It's equally far away, which means it's probably like here. Anyone know the country that's here? South Sudan is like here. Should we just go Congo? What? Where is this country? No way it's on the other side of the world. I think it's literally like Japan or something. Go to Squidward Academy. Shit. Sudan. Yeah, apparently Sudan's not a good guess now. Was Sudan that south? I thought Sudan was further north. My friend and my cousin got it. Got in. Nice. Oh, that's even awesomer. No wonder you're excited for it. You had a stream on the side? No, I didn't. Now I have her stream on the side. Because I want to see what you're going to say. And also so I could get more points. Oh my god. Guys, don't leave me for her. She's dancing now and she's a whammon. Please don't leave me for her. Okay, let me continue reading. Watch her forget to plug it in and it dies failing stream and forcing her to restart. Now, I think if it like went off, she would just continue like nothing happened. That's what I would do. That's a go guess? No, the one that's there. Oh. We think of Indonesia. My older cousin goes there too. Nice. Or I could hack Ping Pong's the simp. Do it to We Will Rock You. You're so quiet on your stream, but on my stream you say all this, yeah? Yeah, I was thinking Japan, you know, China. Indonesia might be a better guess, but I gotta do Japan, guys. I'm sorry. What the hell? This is the first time this happened. Guys, I'm thinking it's literally like the US or something. Or like South. Or like Canada. I'm gonna try United States. You think Colombia? Nah. It's United. Whoa! It's Mexico or Canada? Yo, what? I talk, but it doesn't work? Oh. I feel like the audio does work. It's just very low, maybe. Some old friends go there too. Excited to reunite. Nice. You have to stop stream every 48 hours anyway. Wait, why do I have to stop every 48 hours? We haven't talked since summer 2021. Wow. I remember I had a best friend in 5th grade, and then we went to different middle schools, and we didn't talk much. And then we went to the same high school, and we didn't talk much. So you'll see, they might have changed a lot since last time you've seen them. Why do you keep saying Colombia? Colombia doesn't make sense. Bro, watch it be Mexico, and you're going to be so embarrassed of yourself. Let's go, baby. It's Mexico. I'm a genius, guys. I'm a genius. Twitch has a limit on how long you can stream. That is not true. But, what? I shouldn't say that's not true, because I'm not sure. But, like, do you have to... Wait, you have to stop it and press the restream button every 48 hours? She's at 41 hours right now, so... Stop! You guys want to see a real simp? You guys want to see a goddamn real simp? Look at this loser. Look at this loser. Look at this loser. Following since 2 minutes ago. What a bro. Such a simp, bro. Look at him. But he didn't say anything. He hasn't said anything. Anyway, don't leave me, guys. Don't leave me for her, guys. Anyway. Do a Flash game stream? Which Flash games would you want to see? Ludwig did the same thing during the subathon. Oh, I didn't realize that. Next year I'm shooting 10th. I'm shooting 10th? What does that mean? Oh, I missed a message. And on my thing, my teacher signs shit on, I'm a 7th grade reading level. Oh, that's awesome. That's actually so good. It's because of all the manga you read. Got him. Got him. Jelly truck? That already sounds like something I don't want to play. Jelly truck. Oh my god, this cool math games. I used to go this at school. In school. Allow ads? No, no thank you. Sorry, we're not playing it. We will do the daily Sidordle though. What words, you guys? Do it. look what he says. Nah, you bro. Sip. Sip. I hope the echo's not too loud. I got caught on cool math games. This is funny. It's popular in 4th grade. Now it's not. Really? What's popular now? Sitting home because of COVID? Well, I guess that's not a thing anymore, right? Sitting home because of COVID. TR. Ooh, look how lucky we got. What do you guys think? You hit your teacher? Why'd you hit your teacher? Oh, why 8 games? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Tribe. Nope. I'm joking? Oh, okay. Wait, you're joking or you're JP? I don't know what JP means. Yo, Dina. Never mind. I keep checking to see if Dinel's like messaging on her thing. I'm Japan. Oh. Right. Why does that sound like a bad word? No, there's no I. Oh, because dyke is a bad word, I think. Right? Trone. Trope. 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 Ah. Trove? Treasure trove? Alright, we're gonna stop guessing here. Tax evasion? I would never. That's a slur. Don't say it. I don't think it is.
Trike.
Bruh. Trike
Trike.
means a tricycle. I think dyke is a slur, yeah.
Dyke.
Variant spelling of... Bro, I don't know. It originated as a homophobic. It originated. So is it considered homophobic now? I get confused with this stuff. Like, queer used to be a bad word. Now it's not a bad word. I don't understand the internet. Did you make a message in her chat? You're such a weirdo. What did you didn't say anything. You're such a loser. You didn't say anything. Anyway. Trove. Yeah, I was thinking Trove too, but I'm saying let's skip it now because we guessed way too much. I guessed way too much. Let's try rope. No, let's not try rope. You know what, Trove? What else could it be except Trove, right? Like, Trove is the only thing that makes sense. Okay, good, good. Jesus. どうせまた嘘ついて Let's try this one. Some annoying LGBTQ kid said gay wasn't a choice. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. I took too long. Oh, hello. Is that best boy MR worldwide? Singer of hit songs like Timber. Is what? That's what you wanted as your first message? What are you saying, bro? Route? There's a P in there, bro. There's a pee-pee. How you think route there's a pee-pee? How about pores? If it's pores, you guys owe me 20 subs. I think we lost because I'm a dumbass. I should stop guessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh no, we still have enough guesses. We're still good. Oh, 16 out of 21. I guess that's the amount of guesses we have. So we can't screw up that much more. It starts with P-O, ends in E-R. Poker? What do you guys think of poker? Pop, 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 poker, face, pop, pop, pop. You keep using the same letter over and over. I'm trying to guess the words. I know I'm gonna sound annoying, but you're right and wrong at the same time. Bruh, I honestly don't know. The meta on a lot of things changes so quickly. Doctor, does poker work? I feel like poker works, guys. No, come on, bro. How? No one told me if it works or not, so I guessed it. Power. It's power. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, you guys help me out with this. I'm not screwing this up. The new meta is self-care. True. Lower? Is this lower? I think Mac is saying being gay is a choice and not a choice at the same time. I don't know. Ponder, nobody said Spanish. Poder. That means to do, right? Or like to be able to. What do you guys think of lower? If we get one wrong, we lose. Lower makes that. You know what? No one's answering me because of the 30-minute delay. I'm just gonna. Are you kidding me? What? It's not power. It's not poker. It's not lower. Bruh. What is this? This game's so stupid. I was thinking mower originally, but then I'm like, that would be so dumb. That's so, like, random. Well, we already lost, but... Oh, look, another one. How do you have two words that are... What does sower mean? What? That means if I scrolled up, we would have gotten this right, and we would have had a chance in this game. But I'm a dumbass that didn't scroll up. No, actually, I would still try lower. Cower? Like... Yo, this game's actually stupid. I don't care about this anymore. Like... What is this word? Jower? If it's some dumb stuff like... There's no... Oh, you think the R's used twice? What the hell is rower? Like someone who rows things? Oh my...
Rower.
That's so dumb. This game triggered me. This game is triggering. What do you go? Should we keep going or should we stop? Guys, Dinell actually commented. Oh, yeah.
And also stealing is a touch thing. It's definitely not just a touch thing.
hello. He goes, hello. Hot one's men's is hot. Sheesh, how is it like? Have you actually been live 122 days? Yeah, bro. Why else would she put it in her title, bro? She probably gets that question all the time. You're gonna have to try harder. Sorry for embarrassing you, bro, in front of your date who doesn't know that you guys are dating. I'm such an asshole. I'm actually so mean. I'm leaving. I don't know what to say. Would I ever go live for a month? Yeah, I probably would. I'd probably go live. I asked her a question. I told her like, "Oh, you should probably get an editor for your YouTube channel." She's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for one." Blah blah. I would go live for a month if I thought it was financially worth it, and if I thought I would have enough content for it, and if I thought I could have a YouTube editor, like if I had everything in place, I would do it, for like without a second thought. Like I've thought about doing it before. But yeah. But yeah. But yeah. Does she ever leave the house? I think she left a couple of times, but like she'll leave the stream on. I don't know exactly how it works. She was throwing out garbage before. I haven't watched much of her, guys. I'm not really sure. Sheesh, how is it like? I didn't really want to message her, like there was nothing interesting happening. She's probably unfazed about people. Yeah, I was surprised how she was actually responding to me and stuff. If I if I was so many hours in, I don't know if I would be able to. I love this song. I guess every time you go to sleep and wake up, you get refreshed, maybe. Guys, can we not play the rest of this? We're doing terrible. Or I guess we could just guess quickly. I just feel stupid. Siri. Scare. Spare. Snare. Share. Bro, I hate this game. I actually don't. I really like it. This one is just really weird. Sword. Quit if you want? Okay. She has become a true gamer. I don't think she games that often, but there's a lot of people watching, but very few people messaging. Honestly, from my understanding, when there are, depending on what you stream, that could happen. So if you're streaming like something like a subathon, like I have her in my browser open to get points, I'm not gonna be watching her much at all probably, but like that's probably what a lot of people are doing. I don't think she's botting, because she's been live for a while, and if you check her stats, there's a Twitch tracker website. Like she averages like 102. She's been streaming for like 6 years and stuff. But anyway, they get harder every day. Is that true? I just had a staring contest with my dog and lost. Yo, I've done that before with my dog too, and I've lost. Oh, there's 2 R's here. Wario, Mario, Bugly, Ugly, Stops. Okay, I just want to see what everything is. I don't care. Boom. Do Cookie Clicker? I've played Cookie Clicker before. I don't think it's a good game to stream though. 123 is a while. True. Well, she said that she spends a lot of her time just at home. Like she doesn't have a social life. She gets anxious around people, so for her it's not a big deal, I guess. And she's done like 10 24-hour streams in the past, which is like me. So I could be the future her. Anyway, it sounds like testicular cancer. They shouldn't keep getting harder. Yeah, you should probably check that out, you know. Random people watch her all the time. Yeah. Because she's streaming 24/7, right? Alright. We'll do some of this and we'll go to Hollow Knight. I don't feel like doing too many today of this. Actually, let's just do the daily. Sekaisha. We'll just play the daily one. Then we'll go to Hollow Knight so I could talk more with y'all. Imagine the electric bill. Bro, she gets $1. She's doing $1 per minute. So people, she's making, I did the calculations. If she did it for a whole year, she would make $500,000. Probably less because of taxes. A lot less. Like 100,000. That's actually a lot less. What the hell? But, well, maybe she makes more. I don't know. But let's go straight to Hollow Knight. Nah, we'll just do the daily one. Don't worry, don't worry. Vinland. Vinland Naturpurkmur. Jim Imin. What language, guys? What language is that? Onderweg Oflin. That looks like German. Or Swedish. It's either Germany or Sweden. Sweden. Germany, Munich. I'm gonna go... Vinland sounds Finland to me. You know what? I'm gonna go in the middle here. I'm gonna go Sweden. Oh, I was about to say let's go. It was it was neither. We were all wrong. It was Netherlands. The hell? I'd be creeped out being watched that night. Yeah, but I guess you get used to it. Vinland. This is Spanish. Oh, that's sick. If someone tries to rob him, he could just tricycle away. He could trike away. You got it? But it's not a slur. Netherlands, this is my pueblo. Oh yeah, this is your pueblo? This is your pueblo? This is your pueblo? Alright, then this better be Mexico. If this is not Mexico, you owe me 10 subs. Guatemala. Okay. Save up 1 mil stream points, then tell her to add stop stream for... I'm sure she's aware that some people probably have 1 million points. I don't think she would make that as a thing, because I think she had like I also thought of that. I was like, does she have a 1 million, like her highest thing is 1.8 million VIP forever. So I don't think she'll make end stream. Unless she does for like 3 million. But yeah, someone who's streaming 24/7, getting 1 million points is easier. Not obviously not easy, but Tepic Norte, Mexico. Oh. Transito. Bro, all these Mexican towns. Disgusting. I'm just joking. It's a prank. It's a joke. It's a joke. Your mom. My mom is too long. You can't add her music. Do they have cars like this in Mexico? Pare. I stopped. Don't worry. Oh, guys. I gotta show you guys a video, actually, before Hollow Knight. Because I'm in the video. If you guys know what video I'm talking about and didn't... Well, if you guys know the video, let me know. And if you've watched it, let me know. Caught in 4K, racist man streaming. Nah, I like to make, like, really dark or messed up jokes. Because I feel like that's how you get closer with people. That's how you become, for me, that's how I'm more chill with people. The more messed up of a joke I can make, the more comfortable I am, the more like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't make too many of those jokes anymore because of streaming. What? Probably? I don't know. But yeah. Puerto Rico! Let's go! Let's go! All I know is US and Puerto Rico are close. There we go. San Juan. Let's go! Look at that points. I know the video. Ooh, have you watched the video? This looks like Japan. Actually, kind of looks like Japan, but then it doesn't. I don't think it's Japan. It's a white woman with blonde hair. It is definitely not Japan. There's a Porsche. You have not? Ooh, so maybe we'll watch it together on stream, everyone. Or maybe that's not good because he gets less views on it. French? Is that French? It says .cz. What is that? Burgerberg. What the hell? Burgerberg. Them Germans be like. Probably Italy. Yeah, but what is CZ? I don't think CZ is Italy. I'm just guessing. Dame, EU. Okay, so it's it says CZ again. It's a European country, possibly. Spanish speaking. I think Spanish. Oh no, actually, I don't know if that's Spanish. Conezco. Maybe. What do they speak in Portuguese? Maybe it's Portuguese. What is CZ? Colombia? I don't know. I don't think it's Paris, Italy, or France. Definitely not Spanish, yeah. Probably Eastern country. It could be an Eastern European country, but... What is CZ? Maybe let's look at the map and try to figure out. CZ. China. Cambodia? But there's no Z in their name. Oh, this is such a weird one. Maybe it's an African country? Like Cameroon or something? But the language looks like Portuguese, question mark? Bazaar. Bazaar in a lot of languages means the same thing. Televisori. Closer? No. Oh, you mean location-wise? It could be close to Russia, yeah. It's not close to Russian language, though. Seskalipa? It sounds like one of those languages they speak like in Romania or something, or Slovakia. Maybe it's Slovakia. I feel like... Oh, Czechia. Czechia? Portuguese is more Spanish-like. Yeah. Yeah, I saw the dame. That's why I thought it was maybe Portuguese. But everything else doesn't look Spanish. Alright, let's guess. Whoa, I'm a genius! I'm actually a genius. So I have a my uncle's wife is Slovakian, and it looked like their language. But then because of the CZ, I thought Checha. Bro, 10,000 IQ. IQ plus? Poggers! Oh, this looks like Japan. No, I'm joking. This looks like America, maybe? Oh, shit, Korea. This is South Korea. Confirmed. Okay. I will never be able to guess where in South Korea. It doesn't look like Seoul or Busan, so I'm gonna say Daejeon. Okay. Well, I was right. It wasn't Seoul or Busan. Hey, we didn't do that bad. Pog. Let's go. Oh, you didn't IQ plus. You just checked my IQ. We're master terrorists now. I mean, tourist. All right, should we watch the video? Should we watch it? Should we watch it? Should we watch it? Guys, there's a video out. Uh-oh, I almost showed my private conversations. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Oh, Fairy's birthday is October 1st. Let me write it down so I don't forget. October 1st. While I'm at it, anyone want to tell me their birthday? So I write it on my Google Calendar. So I say happy birthday and you feel special. And then that's the end of that. Fairy birthday. Repeat every year. If he's there next year, that would be cool. We've gotten to the point where I see the reminders I have like repeat, which is so cool. Like some people have been here for so long that like for over a year is what I'm trying to say, I guess. I thought North Korea, but whatever. Yeah. Good guess, good guess. What's this thing? Oh, I remember why I went on the thing. Alright, let's pause the music here.
Hello everybody, it's me.
I've done a video with him.
Jimmy, and I race with fellow streamers Ping Pong Master.
Ah, that's me.
Along with our viewers in a Mario Kart 8 tournament.
When is my birthday? I have it on my phone. I don't remember. When is my birthday, huh? February 29th. I almost fell for that. That is, I don't know if he has a lazy eye or he's just not looking at the camera, but it's kind of funny.
Subscribe and click that like button.
Your Dino, your birthday. I
What's your
isn't
favorite
it September?
game, by the way?
Wait, is your birthday September? I'm saying that before checking. Let me check. It is. Okay, I actually remember that. September 7th. Let's go. Let's go. I sound so depressed. I think I was playing with them after the spicy challenge, so I was just really like, what's up, guys? GG. When's my birthday, Dino? I immediately thought South Korea because of the car. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I didn't even pay attention to the car.
I love the chaos.
May 9th. Damn, you're right. You're right. You have it written down?
Yeah, same.
Oh, wait. My face is covering their face.
First place.
Oh. That's me. I will say the quality is not that good. I don't know why. I think he has to fix that. Or I have to fix it. So check it out if you guys want. Your boy Jimmy. Turn up the volume.
Me? No.
I maxed out the volume. It's still low though, right?
God, I'm so scared.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind!
I'm in second.
Yo, please, it's almost
Let
done,
me
it's almost
fix
done.
this.
No, blue shell! Oh my fucking god! No, cross.
Browser
Let's go!
extension for YouTube volume.
Doctor did not deserve second there. That was
Filing a fucking
bullshit.
class action lawsuit. Nintendo's going down tomorrow.
He always says Nintendo's going down. Twitch is going. He always says that. All right, I found volume control extension. Hopefully they don't steal my life. But thank you for installing. How to use. Adjust your settings. I'm not gonna read the how do you use part. I'll fix it in a second. Hopefully.
Aw. Thank you.
Holy shit.
Little boys, I'm older than you.
Little boys.
Be the group, I think. I'm 21.
Ugh.
That's so funny.
Oh, nice.
What are you doing with your life at 21?
My voice is a bit low on this, so I don't know if you guys could hear that, but you're 4 days after Cinco de Mayo. Let's go. That's how you remember it. Pinkception. Let's go. You haven't memorized. Let's go.
Nothing.
Your 8 video is a 3. I don't even know what that means.
I'm literally at home all the time streaming. It's so sad.
I mean, it's only sad until you become a big streamer. Then it's like, good job.
Exactly.
How do I change this? I have a simple tutorial
sorry,
guide.
to you, by the way.
Ow. That hurt. I'm not gonna get angry.
Oh my god.
Ow. The blue shell hit me.
Look,
Oh
this-
my god.
Way worse.
Jared.
Jared!
Yeah,
Oh, I got hit by a bullet, Bill. Oh my fucking god. I'm actually
Hey,
doing so
language.
bad.
Oh,
I hate
here.
This fucking map, I can't.
I hope I hit somebody with that. I hope I hit somebody with that. Please, please, please.
Yo, let's go.
No, are you kidding? You passed me.
How do I do this?
Yeah. Lucky mushroom.
Yo, what's up, Jimmy? I'm trying to increase the volume. I installed this thingy. After installing click the icon. I don't got no icon. Blasting. Do you guys see an icon here? More tools. Extensions. Details. I could be Jimmy at you could beat Jimmy. You've gotten better, Dino, like a lot better. Why doesn't this work? Do I have to refresh or some shite? I'm sorry, I'm refreshing.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Untitled boy Jimmy, and I race with fellow streamer.
Okay, what do I care?
Yo, let's go.
No, are you
Oh, I have to press that.
last second?
Yeah.
Pen.
Lucky mushroom.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
by the way, I hate 200. I'm so glad you don't like it too, Jared.
Yeah, I don't like.
How's that, guys?
Oh, thank God. Like,
Some
it's
people
fine.
are- That's the true measurement. That's how you know you're a real Carter. It's like, wow, you're a fucking dickhead. It's not fun.
Yeah. Everyone in my chat's like, oh, you're such a noob. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Call me a noob.
Wow, I
probably
enjoy
are
a
noobs.
game when it's like grinding my nuts on a cheese grater. That's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds really weird. You should go to a doctor about that.
I sound like a depressed child.
natural.
You know why I love Jimmy?
Why?
Because he laughs at
Like,
my
I'm actually
jokes.
funny.
Yeah.
You are funny.
Aw, that's so
That's so sweet.
I love.
I memorized it.
You just fucking roasted him, and he reassured you that you're funny, you piece of shit.
No, I'm not roasting him.
That's still not good.
Never tried 300cc. Does that exist, broccoli? What the fuck?
Broccoli's a liar.
That doesn't. Broccoli is a liar. You should. watch him,
Nah, I can't probably ban a sub. Well, I can if they're that bad, but you know.
or once we're bigger, like 10,000 viewers,
Oh, true, yeah.
How's
Wanna
that?
ban me, pussy? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
We're
That's how you get a
you
quick
passing with a
time
lucky
out.
star?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's loud in my ears.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it go all the way full screen? There we go.
Too rich. What? I'm not first. Why does it always hit me?
Yes, I passed my ball.
This is so stupid. It hit. That was
Yeah,
so
that was
dumb.
annoying.
What was that bullshit?
Doctor finishes the game
Lower my
5 hours ago, so the blue
The
shell hits
fucking
me. Yeah?
lightning bolt? Are you fucking?
Let's
my
go.
Lower, lower my volume.
Excuse me again.
Do you have the burp counter on?
Oh, goddamn right, every day, all
Lower my
day,
volume?
every day.
Do you have a record for most burps in a
Lower my-
stream?
No, but I do have most for fucking LaCroix's drank in a single work day. I think it was 13. 13, 14.
Yo.
I made a pyramid.
Yo, that's
LaCroix
a
are
lot.
gas, though. They're so good.
We're reacting to a
Fucking
video.
good. The key lime. Oh.
I mean,
Been
we're
first
playing
literally
Literally.
all game. Watch me not be.
Oh
first.
my god, what was that bullshit?
I'm
gonna
first all
diggity
game,
fucking
baby.
Yo, let's go.
Let's go.
I passed Jared.
Let's go.
Passing
No,
Jared
no
is not an
fire, no
achievement.
Fireballs, no fireballs. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Second place. Let's go. Let's go.
Me and Jimmy are pretty close. Like,
Yeah.
I just got two.
Okay, I'll turn off my mic volume for you.
Kinda cool,
I got 2 mushrooms, so like, please don't fuck me while I use these, and I'll thank you. I missed the power-ups. I
Ow!
missed my
How
mommy.
is
I
somebody-
missed my mommy.
Damn.
What the hell? Someone passed me with the rocket, and I just
Sucks,
died.
dude. This game fucking sucks, dude.
Damn.
Got beat by a comm. That's why I'm fucking mad. It's so nice. I love that.
Sorry, that was my stepson.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
First place. Let's go.
You piece of shit. I'm being old. and Now you make me hate you. Fuck
Let's
off.
go.
Damn, ping pong. It's been a week. It feels like I've known you for longer, ping pong, because your name is ping pong.
No! What the fuck was that?
I just saw that happen.
He gets first.
This is where I get first place.
This is where I die.
Watch. Never mind. Damn, fuck this. Damn, I got second. Good enough. Yo, am I in first?
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Wow. You're tied for first with Doc.
Oh god.
But
Suck.
Doctor like lost the rounds, so he could type something in chat. So
Okay.
How's everyone
Fair
doing?
enough. I'm probably gonna lose this.
no, have confidence.
Yo, what's up, Jimmy?
I'm just being realistic.
Watch
Why are you
Doc
ignoring
slap
me?
my teeth out my asshole. Like, that's what I'm preparing for right now.
You have
Same.
teeth in your asshole.
I'm so
Oh, shit.
funny.
Do it.
Oh no 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 no!
Went right by my face, whoever's that
Why'd
was.
you throw the bomb?
Oh fuck! I slipped on banana. It's over. GG. Oh my god.
Moving. I got stuck in it. That's what she said.
Wait, what the fuck was... I just heard something bang into my door. If it was a dog, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Just a random
And cut everyone off.
The worst part is it's my dog, and it still counts as a random dog.
Oh, I
That was such a snipe.
Fuck off!
Oh, bro, I accidentally hit you. I was trying to hit Doctor, and you're just so bad that you got hit.
Shit. Eat shit and choke. Eat shit until you choke.
What if I do?
God, you've accomplished your goal.
Oh, this is the last round. I should be playing better.
Yo, I think I got first overall. I think.
You did if you went.
Oh, I got second, but the person who got first.
He got
Breeze just saved his life out
got-
of fucking pure luck.
He got
Yo,
second,
doctor's
guy.
in my chat now. What's up? What's up?
Keep getting
He's a real
interrupted.
doctor.
Really?
No, he's not.
Am I deafened?
Everyone's just ignoring it. Oh, welcome back, Jared.
This is
Jimmy went to
funny.
go pee.
You went pee-pee?
Yeah, he went pee.
Okay, good.
Maybe some poop. I pooped right before stream.
I
and
did.
Oh my god, it was so fast.
I did.
You love a turbo turd. Fucking just get it out of you.
Oh, it came out of my butt real quick.
Bro, how am I in first? You guys suck.
You heard that? I forgot to clean. I'm so funny. Guys, I'm so... Wait, let me... I don't know. Oh. I'm so funny, right, guys? I'm such a... Wait, when did you break my internet? When did you break my internet? What? Oh my god. I didn't even realize you broke my internet, bro. I was changing scenes and everything. Did I screw it up? Did it work? It did work, stupid. I was just switching my scenes. That's why. It did work. I was just switching my scenes at the exact time you were breaking the internet. So it screwed it up. That's your
Not
fault.
anymore.
But yeah, I'll give you back
Oh,
the point.
Yeah, not anymore.
I don't know who this doctor guy is, but they seem pretty good at Mario to be... Oh my god. That's Poggers? Thanks. I think he's my doctor. You are though? Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
No, motherfucker! What the fuck? You're kidding. Oh my god, this...
Okay, it's Fairy just got hit with the blue.
Get out of here.
Getting hit.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I want to get a lightning bolt, suck my pussy, literally eat my nuts. Oh my fucking god, I hate
Eating
this
my
game.
nuts. He always
Whoa,
says
when
that.
are you inviting me over?
Every day of my life, where have you been?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Where's
Damn,
break
I
my
didn't get
internet?
anything.
Getting hit by.
No, there's an
Doctor!
ad.
The green shell. That's it.
It's
You're
okay.
getting
It's okay.
unmodded.
Just because you deserve it. Don't worry.
He's
Fuck you! Oh my
I forgot to unmod you actually.
What are
Look
all
at that.
those lightning bolts?
I'm
They're
coming in
stupid.
11th place.
Yo, let's go! I am in the lightning bolt first place. Let's go! Woo!
I'm jizzing fucking bolts of electricity.
I gave you points
hate
back,
this
Tino.
game.
I beat Jared, so.
Fuck this
I'm
game.
good.
Fuck this game and fuck Elliot.
Oh my god, you suck.
This game is so toxic. This game
Really
is
is,
toxic.
honestly.
It makes me.
Yo, let's go!
Let's go. Look, that's Doctor. That's
Oh
Doctor.
my god, I am a biohazard barrel. I am literally a fucking.
And
thing
look, this is
outside
the-
of,
the worst
fucking
player in the game
Fukushima
right here.
now. I am so
No!
radioactive
I
toxic.
stole that.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck, I got hit twice. GG, it's
Third place,
over.
baby. Third place.
Oh,
That's
come
all.
on.
Oh.
Why does everyone behind me get rockets?
Lotus even beat me. Oh my fucking
I'm such
god.
a complainer.
Ooh, I just got sent clips of Jimmy.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to watch them, you know. It's not important.
I almost spoiled it.
No, I'm definitely watching.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
Whoa, why are you naked in this one?
Not to be mean,
It was
but
a
you
good
have
clip.
the face of the Grinch. Oh,
was a good clip.
thanks, I guess. What the fuck? Okay.
Wait. I don't think you do. Grinch? Isn't the Grinch like... Hey, you don't have the face of the Grinch. What do you guys think? He's not here, so we could talk about him. Don't worry, guys. What do you guys think? Let me just... Oh! He just... Jimmy, this isn't what it looks like. Never mind. Let's watch the video.
It's okay. I got.
I know, I'm so lucky, Ping Pong.
Yeah, I know.
Jimmy, should I try to hit you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Give-
this
give it
was crazy. I don't know how the hell this happened. I'm probably gonna clip this. Like, I think I put a marker to clip this. I have no idea how I did this. Look at it. We're gonna watch this slow motion, okay? That's how
Sure.
good it is.
No, when you get rid of your green shell, I mean.
Nah,
Watch this, watch this.
it's okay.
Okay.
Unless you're like really.
Did you guys see that? Oh, bro. Look at that. Oh, that's a pro player right here. Look at that. From goddamn Well, you can't really see, but look at that. Look how big and juicy that looks.
Like really?
Boom.
Oh my god! What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Oh my god.
That was crazy, bro.
Chill, Ping. Stop getting mad.
Chilping. Stop getting mad.
Yo, second place. Let's go. No, fuck. Oh.
Someone's like, your laugh
That was
sounds
funny.
like fake when you do it. And I'm just like, no, it's seriously the most guttural laugh you're gonna get from me. Where it's just
sounds
like,
fake,
it breaks out.
but-
It sounds like
No,
ash ketchum.
don't IQ mine it.
At least you don't have that like Jimmy Fallon laugh, you know?
Oh my god, that's the worst.
This is a bad impression.
Yeah. I hit the.
What does he do? He goes like, I don't know. That's more like Misgift. That shell snipe was insane. I know. I got so lucky.
fact that every fucking late night show host is like a James or a Jimmy.
Actually, if you want to be a late night host,
Not
you have
Conan.
a bigger chance if you're a Jimmy,
Wow.
no?
But
Yo,
you're
what's
probably gonna be
up, Chris? I'm
bad.
playing Mario Kart right
Yeah.
now, so I
I
can't
gotta
talk
know
to
my
you.
place.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'd be self-aware, I guess. You know, that maybe
Yeah.
that counts for
You're
something.
Jimmy on late night.
Aw, thank you, thank you.
Bye, gamer.
I'm
Generation.
second. I'm second.
You get Jimmy Fallon too, and he's actually funny.
What do you mean
Yeah.
no? Sorry, I can't talk. I'm in the middle of
I'll
a
just
race.
change my name to Jimmy Fallon too.
No joke, you would probably get a lot of media attention and
It's
become big.
Big.
Yo, actually,
Yeah.
Dude, be like the whole meme of the dude who started Dumb Starbucks however many years ago.
Oh,
where it's just
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like a full operating coffee
Starbucks.
shop, and it's like
Yeah, I'm
called
playing.
Starbucks, but it's dumb, so it's a parody.
I forgot about that. Also, sorry for cringe telling you.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Is that a thing?
It was
Is that a
whole-
thing?
I forget the specific comedian, but he was like a character actor you see on a bunch of like sketch shows.
I'm in third
He
now.
was just like,
How did
you
I
know,
get a-
fuck it. Let's take
I'm in
parody
fourth.
to the corporate world.
That's funny.
That is
That's pretty
funny.
good. Until I think it got shut down because like health code violations.
I
I thought you were gonna
I
say
thought you
until
said
got shot, and I was like, oh.
running the video.
Starbucks CEO is like, you think you're gonna take my green matcha market? Fuck you. Bullet to the head. Oh my
Nah, I'm
God.
not
Oh my
playing.
God.
How you
Oh my
doing,
God,
Chris?
My veins can't
Jimmy,
handle the pressure.
bye.
No, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Bro, when that happened,
Yes! 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 Oh my god!
that was instant karma right there.
Yes!
Trash.
I
could
know.
have actually had it.
Can we go to Superstars or whatever? I don't want to play this game.
Monster.
This game is so dumb, bro.
The funny thing that follow him on Twitch.tv and Twitter. Oh, do I follow you on Twitter actually? Don't worry, I'm subscribed and liked on my actual account. This is my dummy account for you guys. Oh, Dinell already watched it. I'm Jim Boy, my boy making dumb videos. Gamer 1019. This video was Pog. Thank you, Pink. A good video of 2/3 of my favorite. Lol. Gamer be like. Anyway, let me put myself back on the top right. How's school going? Chris, we're watching a video, and I confused it because I thought it would be funny, and it was funny to me. So this is the website if you guys wanna This is his channel if you guys wanna check out Jimmy Neutron. He's already doing better than me with views, so he's pretty much a better YouTuber. So you guys should check him out. I think I watched this video as well, actually. The booster course. Okay, he has quality content, baby. Oh, Jesus. I have to lower this before I forget. Oh, it goes automatically back? Oh, that's actually cool. Does it depend on the browser you're on? Whoa, that's actually really cool. Sorry. That's cool. All right, let's play Hollow Knight. We're going to play some Hollow Knight, baby. Hollow Knight time! Hollow Knight time! You get to look at my beautiful face as I fix it for Hollow Knight. I'm sorry. Don't leave me, guys. I know my face is ugly, but... Let's go! Wait, I have to switch back. I got a good video. What is this? Russia attacking Ukraine, Family Guy meme. Yeah, I don't know the meme, but I've heard of the meme. Thumbnail tricked me. Do Russia attacking Ukraine, Family Guy meme. My head hurts. All day, every day? Wait, really? Thank you. Hopefully Mario Party video will be good. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm happy someone's making content from this stuff. Bro, I don't care about Jamoran. Jamoran. I don't care about Jamoran. You know that. Oh damn, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. Well, if your head hurts, I'll promise you your head, I shouldn't promise, but your head probably won't hurt much here today because this game is very chill. What happened to Elden Ring? I didn't like it and I bought it for a video and I regret my life decisions. The PvP looks cool though. I saw Bosa, another streamer, playing it and it looked cool, but yeah. Unlike the Dark Souls of 2D platformers. I mean, I think it's better than Dark Souls. And kind of different, but... Someone said Hollow Knight. Yeah, baby. 6 foot 2 man dunks on 7 foot man. Pretty crazy. But if it was like a 4 foot 1 man dunking on a 7 foot man, that would be crazier. So, you know. How much you selling it? I want to give it to Omar. I bought it on... The problem about this type of stuff is... Oh, I could probably travel more areas here now. Wait, what? Why does it show like the statue is here as well? Does it connect right here? No way. Wait, what? Now I'm confused. Anyway, I bought it digitally, so I don't know if I could sell it, but you should probably spend your money so you don't lose it. That's probably a good train of advice, yeah. Nah, you can't? Oh. But look at how beast I am at video games. Oh, I barely heard the game. I forgot I turned down my headset. That's where the Hollow Knight rests, bro. Yeah, but I don't see it on the map. That's what confused me. Oh, it just... I don't remember seeing that before, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't think we got the flashlight yet. Oh, I was deciding whether I should spend money. I remember what I was doing now. What I should spend money on. Oh, when you said you should probably spend your money, I thought you meant in real life because we were talking about Elden Ring and stuff. I didn't realize you meant in the game, Doctor. That makes more sense. Do you not read the lore? In the game? I read a little bit of stuff. You're making money now. You could buy it for him, bro. Nah, but yeah. That sucks.
Papa
Papa Tapa. She always says that, bro. She's so unoriginal. Does the subs get in the way? Should I just remove it? Where am I going? The lore is confusing the first time around? Oh, okay, cool. But to be honest, it seems like the whole game was confusing to you the first time around, Doctor. No offense. Jesus, it's so loud. Guys, let me know if the volume's coming through, right? Because I fixed it last time. Please tell me it's... Yes, it's coming through. I just don't know if it's... I feel like it's really loud. Why is it so loud? Did I increase the audio last time? I didn't. Huh. Maybe my ears can't handle it. What do you guys suggest buying this time? Lore's a little weird. I've watched many videos and still don't understand it. Oh, okay. I don't feel dumb anymore. Buy the light? Okay. I guess I'll get more access to stuff, so. 100% the light. Up! Oh, the buttons, bro. I gotta change the buttons. You've been tricked. Well, I know the light could help get to certain areas, like, easier. Because even in this area, there was a lot... Oh, now it shows on the map differently, too. Oh, shit, that's 6. That's sick. That is sexy. That is sexy. Yum, it's a flashlight. Oh. That's pretty cool. Where we go, where we go. People want to know who... In this game, I don't talk as much because I actually like. I'm really enjoying this game. What a good decision by Doctor. Oh yeah, you gotta tell me what game you want for this month. Remember, you have down plus soul. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I could only use that in certain areas. It seems like. Oh, this was the cavern. Oh, I could down plus soul in the cavern now. Oh, shot. Oh, shot. That's so cool. I want to see if this whammon says anything now. Stupid. IQ plus, let's go. I'm gonna go get SM in a game, but I'll be back. Alright, cool. SM meaning Super Mario. Cool. Poor guy. Yo! That's sick! Whoa. Did I miss something up there? I hope I didn't miss anything. This is... Whoa! This is definitely the next area. We get an armor breaking thing soon, probably. Oh, and we have a flashlight now. Oh, I don't even have 50. Alright, we'll come back here. Crystal Peak Hypers. Oh, shit. How do I... Does he do anything? Oh, yeah. So I could hit him where his head is at. Whoa! That guy would go crazy if he saw this. Or the girl or whatever. It doesn't even attack you. It's like free. Oh! Huh? We'll go down there, but first let me check what's here. I love how there's crystals, but money is more important in this game for me. But yeah, mods, is the audio okay? Is the audio okay? I sound like such a loser. Oh. I didn't realize I couldn't go there. I'm sad. I'm a sad monkey. Because I'm just an idiot. I forgot how to react when someone puts this monkey up. I'm so sorry. Everyone hates me. I actually haven't seen that in so long that I forgot what to do. Thanks, Jimmy. I hope it was worth the points. If not, I could redeem them. I could give you back the points or not. That is so cursed. Yes, it is. Oh, you want to see cursed, bro? You have to see my, You want to see cursed? You have to see my, Oh, there's another miner. Miner? Haha, love them. Just kidding. You have to see my stepsis and my stepmom. Alabama. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, the miners attack me. Oh, because they don't want me to steal their mine stuff, probably. Whoa, this is sick. Alabama. Ah! I miss your sister. My real one or my stepsis? I mean, which one? Oh, we got a prediction up in here. Up in here, up in here. Let's go. I think I need to... Oh, I think I need to fix my settings because my face is not that bright. I think I'll make a note to fix it. You know who? I don't. Fix face. Fix my face. I'm gonna need plastic surgery, which means I'm gonna need a donation from you guys. First try Crystal Guardian. Ooh. Yo, this area legit looks mad sick. What the hell does that do? And can you kill them? You could oh, whoa, you could probably kill them later. Ah! Bruh. Bruh. What the hell am I doing? Bruh. What is that? Stop. I'm supposed to get more energy from you guys, not less. There we go. Alabama. Oh, yes! We're gonna get a map. I'm actually trash. Don't hit me, don't hit me. Oh my god, that was so lucky. Oh. Bruh. Sheesh. There he is. What's up, baby? Do I even have enough money? No. Oh, okay, I don't. Awful sharp. Oh, shit. I love his song, bro. He always sings such good songs. Oh, are we gonna get a double jump soon? 'Cause I cannot reach that. Or maybe it's up here. Don't throw your boomerang! Stop. How do you have more than one? Bruh. Sheesh. IQ plus, let's go. People have too much confidence in you. Do you like that Sag, guys? I added the Sag. Can you song us a song? You want me to sing you a song? Sure. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I would never live without you by my side. And then I spent... Whoa, what is that? Ah! Why did I do that? Ah! Bro, stop chilling. Ah, you stupid. Was that the Crystal Guardian? I came back all the way here? People have... Do you like the new Sag thing? I just added that yesterday. So if you say Sag, Stream Element says Sag. Man's got deep pockets. That was beautiful. Aww. Yes! That's the first time someone used that emote, unironically. I'm so happy. Yeah, you want to do capital S for Sag. Yeah. That was Sag. I have to go all the way back. Sag. First I was afraid, I was petrified. I kept touching you with my eyes. What? Isn't that a beautiful emote? Oh, I'm so happy just staring at it. Come on, Ping. Do you guys like watching... Do you guys like going on Twitch? You know, I didn't like watching streams on Twitch for a long time. And then I started streaming. Like, I never watched streams. And then I started streaming. And then I started getting into it. But it's still, I didn't really like watching streams now. And now, I feel like when I watch streams, I kind of get mad at myself for spending time on a stream instead of doing something else. So I'll have it on, like, the background. I probably shouldn't be saying this stuff. Oh, we're good. Damn, look at those emotes. That doggo is pretty cute, bro. 666. Cheers. All right. See ya, Jimmy. Have a great one. I'm going to be waiting for that next video. I think that's going to be a banger. I think your YouTube channel is gonna be awesome. Bro, I just wanted to go heal the bench. I didn't expect that to be there, okay, guys? I'm not that bad at video games. I just wanna get that. I just wanna make sure that's clear. What am I doing? I thought I could just jump there for some reason. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. Let's go. Oh, this is the other way. I didn't go this way. Jesus, look at those emotes. Good luck. Thank you. Second try? I don't want to second try it. I want to heal before using... I want to use the bench first. I want to bench press. What? You don't work out, Ping. Yeah, you're right. I don't. You see, this is why I was honestly scared to add the Satch thing. Because I knew you guys would just spam. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't add it. But then I'm like, nah. I got a cool chat. They wouldn't just spam. And you know what? Maybe spamming sometimes is okay. If I don't miss messages, it's okay. If I do, then you get permabanned. Nah, you just get warned. You get warm. You get warm. Oh my god, that was so much easier. Why is doing some... Ow. Can you let me kill you? Why is doing something more than once make it easier? First I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could... There was a bench down there? Oh wait, that's... I don't know. I was petrified. Keep thinking I can never live without you. Ah! You freaking fascists. I lost way too much health. You're done? Okay. Oh, bro. What am I supposed to do? Do you? Stop hitting me. You're hitting me because you ain't me. What? That doesn't make sense, Pink. I don't want to verse this thing anymore. I need to get more... I need to get more stuff. Oh, shit. Yeah, maybe I'll take more... I don't know if I should... Can you get closer? Oh, God. Thank you. Oh, I could skip him. Let's go. I need to get more experience. Whoa. All right. I gotta verse him eventually. But I only have 3 hearts. Ugh. Shit. What the hell? Nice. That was no point for that. Ah! Can you stop? Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that. Shit. Ah! He did it at the same time. What the hell? Oh. Bro. Oh, shit. Oh, he ran away. Oh, he's still here. Oh, he ran away. Bro. Don't. What the F? It's okay. I killed him. Let's go, IQ plus. Let's go. There's nothing up there. He wasn't hard. He was just so unexpected before that I didn't expect next to a bench to get a goddamn guy, you know? Not that I get guys. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm not. The hell is that? Whoa. The hell? Doesn't feel fair. What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna head out later? Later? Or are you gonna head out now? This game's not too interesting, yeah? I get it. Alright, see you, ping pong. Oh, I could break them. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Hit the crystals? I'll do it, I'll do it. Have a great one, ping pong. And keep playing ping pong, especially if you enjoy it. You don't think you would enjoy Super Mario Maker 2? I think I would enjoy it. There's a lot of challenges in that game. True. But I'm a Hollow Knight streamer now. That's what I'm known for. That's what the people ask for. Bro, how are you still here? Oh, I forgot I could break the crystals. Okay. Oh my god. Can you stop? Oh my god, if I died and I wasn't versing anyone, that would be so sad. The hell, bro? Why was that so hard? That's what she said. I remember the Japanese guy. Anytime someone brings up Super Mario Maker, I remember the guy you used to watch in Japan. And I watched him a bit too. For those that don't know, there's a Japanese guy that does Super Mario Maker videos. I was just watching him. Lol. Lol. Whoa. This just goes back. I feel like this is not a special location. Ooh, okay. Huh. Jesus. Oh! Whoa! Oh my god, that was so risky. I have like no health left. I got you, baby. I got you. Oh my god, that was scary. I think you would like it. He's playing a really hard level. I think I would like it too. There's a fan-made boss that combines those crystal things with a super spammy boss. Alright, yeah, show me when I get further in. Oh, they all stopped. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go. This probably just connects to the... It shows that I've been in this area before. Oh, this is the connection. Are you serious? Oh my god, I almost died. Yo, what's up, Lando? Yeah, I know it's Mario Day. But I was making a bunch of TikToks and YouTube shorts. Alright, look at this, guys. For the coming days from like a few weeks ago, because I'm so far behind. I was making, there's like 60 of them here. That I got tired of looking at Mario's face. Because most of those shorts are like from Mario. Even though actually I wouldn't mind playing it right now. Super Mario Maker 2. Sup? How you doing, Lando? How you doing? Oh, we haven't been down there. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. That was 10,000 IQ, baby. I really hate these guys. They're annoying. Just woke up from a nap. Nice. These guys suck, bro. Let's go. I'm a beast. 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 What the hell? I thought I did my... Oh my god, how many are there? I shouldn't have done that. How was your nap, bro? Did you dream about any women? Or men? You know, you could dream about men. It's okay. Where do I go here? Oh, another one of these? I only have 2 hearts. Ah! Let's go heal up. Let's go heal up, guys. I think I should go heal up. Men for sure. Chris making levels in Mario Maker doesn't count as coding. I don't think he's making any. That's the problem. How far away am I from the thing? I can't look at my map when I'm on this. Oh, it's a rancid egg. Let's go. I'm not dying, baby. Let's go. Can I put a song? No. You had an hour to put a song, but you weren't here. Okay. When we play Hollow Knight, we listen to Hollow Knight because that's what the people want. Not all the people. I like the music in this game, so I apologize. Boo! Hey, blame the people, okay? Always blame the people. Never blame the streamer. Oh, that was easy. Ow! How the hell do I do this? Should I hang on to the edge? No. Oh, shit. Oh! Yo! Ah! Oh, it's on a... Oh, shit. This one's harder. I didn't pay attention. We the people demand music. Well, Doctor said woo when you said boo, so... You're dreaming about Chris? Hell yeah. Bacon pies? What? Ah! That one is so fast. That's what she said. Oh my god, bro. Jesus. What the heck? The heck was that? Oh. I want to go heal up, to be honest. Let's go. But I'm assuming this connects back soon. Or they'll give us easy guys to verse. Let's go! I was right. It did connect back. What is this, though? Oh, shit. I suck against these guys. It looks like there's a bench down there. Ah! Shit. Oh, that was so smart. You can't even lie, guys. That was so sexy and smart. There's more of them, though. Look at that face. Nice, Lando. How do I do this? What does this connect to? Oh. Nah, I'm not doing that yet. Let me go get the bench. Ah! Oh. Okay, there should be a bench somewhere here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, okay. Oh! Really? I almost died. Oh, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die here. Shit! Ah, where's the bench? Nice emotes. What are those emotes, Chris? Did you subscribe to Japanese women? Crazy Japan 1? Crazy Japanese? Bro, you're such a simp. Why are there so many simps in this in the chat? It's so like simpy. You guys are like such simpy behavior. That was rip. You got a sub reward? Yeah, okay. That's what all the simps say. I'm just joking. I believe you. Nihongo. I like that. Wait, can I break this? I don't think I can. But I don't think in general, so maybe I could. Oh my god, I already got back here so quick. Oh. I can't die. If I die, guys, I'm a loser. Oh, that was so good. Back to coding. Shit. I don't know where to go. Shit. Why does it have to be there? Come closer. Come closer. I can't. Oh my god. Yeah, there should be a bench right below. Let's go. Hey, look at those. Hey, you party whamming. Party whamming. Did you both get gifted subs from her? I shouldn't say simp. That's I can't say that word. I can't say that word on stream. Whoa, where does this lead to? I say where does this lead to, but I was obviously here. Oh, I was here. I thought that was I thought I would die if I went that way. Oh, I could hit it back. Oh, that's actually sick. I actually explored quite a bit. Oh, okay. Quite a bit of it. I guess so. You know so, bro. And you like it. Don't lie. I'm just joking. Where do I go? Oh, I could go this way. Let's go this way. We'll go back around. What's another fleshlight area? Can you stop? Oh my god, those things are so annoying. Let's go. We're good. We're Gucci. We already have so many coins. What the hell? Oh my god. Maybe he'll come here. That's what she said. Oh my. Ah, I died? You have to do this room without a flashlight, and it's super annoying in the 112%. My assumption, though, is that in that run, it might be more annoying, but it's more... Like, you get used to the map, right? I gotta get used to that, bro. Yep. Oh. Reading the same message twice. Let's go. Where did I go? Where got the rock when I show? I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Oh, bro. The timing of that, like, gets me. Where you go? Where you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where's my boy? I have to take my time here. There we go. Ah! Oh! Oh, that was skill. Do I get my shit back? Oh, I do. That was so bad. I'll read chat in a moment. Bro, this guy's actually, like, so annoying. Jesus Christ. You have to do this. You have to memorize that dark room, though. You have to do a bunch of precise jumps from memory. Ah, I gotcha. Been meaning to play this game. It's supposed to be Dark Souls for kids. I think that's a good description. I mean, I like it. I don't like Dark Souls much. I really like this game. I guess Dark Souls for kids is a good description. I don't know. 2D platformer, though. Huh? Is this another boss battle? I'm not ready. Cursed are those who turn against the king. Oh, you get his fapping footsteps. Dragon. Oh, yes! Yo, this place seems smaller than most of the other ones. Wait, we're gonna have to verse someone before dragon? Oh, this probably connects to the first area? Yeah, Chris would like this game. It's like blasphemous. What's... Oh. I need to have a slot. Okay. I probably have to do something. Oh, I got excited seeing dragon. I know it's not dragon, but... Is this what I already checked? Yeah. Bro, this is creepy. This is like really deep in. That's what she said. We went really high. No, we went really deep in another area. Whoa! What is this? The dreamers lay sleeping. Monum the teacher, Lurian the watcher, Hera the beast. Looking over the city, fog and mist. Oh, they're showing about all the kingdoms. Hollowness lasts eternal. Maybe I'll have to verse all of them. Dreamer locations. Ooh. Oh. No. Would the seals break? They cannot be undone. It must be cast away. Whoa! Don't kill me, baby. I probably can't get there until later, yeah? Whoa. What the? Huh? Do these fall? I wonder. Yo, this is so cool. Other Metrovania, that's really good. Up. I suck. No one saw that. Oh, I don't lose life for it. I didn't lose life for it. The game is like, yes, you suck, but actually, that was okay. Yeah, there's such tiny platforms. What the heck? Jesus, it takes so much concentration. Where are we going, Cotton Eye Joe? Whoa. Moku. Will accept their judgment and fade slowly, or will take your weapon and cut your way out of this dream? Oh. Oh. I was in a dream. Dream nail. Whoa, a new weapon. What the hell? Hold Y to charge and slash. Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. This game is so cool. The hell was that? Welcome back to the Waking Lords. A dream nail. It can cut through the veil. That sacred bow is dulled. Together we can restore it. Essence. The fragments of light. Oh, I think I was able to buy that before. Collect 100 of them, bruh. Let's see how many I have. Oh, maybe I have 0. Oh, I have to use my dream nail. Okay, that makes sense. Dream nail hypers. It said hold Y. I don't know what Y is. Oh. Oh, that's why. Alright, let's first see what this... Oh. Yo! That's sick. Oh, I have to collect them. Oh, it shows how many I have. Oh, so one of these gives quite a bit. 100 is not going to be as hard as I thought, I guess. We already got like 10. Unless the whole point is to collect all of them now? What the hell? This is a lot. Did I miss any? Oh. I don't have enough to do that. Hey, Cortez! Happy Mario Day. Yeah, I was gonna play Mario, but then I was like, nah. I edited so much Mario clips for YouTube Shorts and TikTok that I was like, I don't feel like playing. No, I don't feel like playing it today. Oh, the dragon! I want to pay the dragon and then come back here. Oh, a bench. Oh, recording. Sorry, I missed you. Oh, yes, Cornifer. He's back home. Achievement unlocked. Let's go. I'm so happy. What is he going to say? Would come here to conduct rituals for those who had passed on. Oh, interesting. Alright. I mean, we could go back up and get... It would probably be smart to go back up. Let's go back up. 48-hour speedrun I mentioned requires you to get about 1,000 of those. I thought you only need 100. Resting grounds. Which is 0.5% chance every time. Jesus. So you gotta get really lucky, huh? Shit. Are you playing any Mario in honor of Mario Day, Cortez? Papa Tapa.
Papa nada.
Papa nada. Let's go. Oh, I could buy more stuff now. Whispering Root. I made some pins so you can record their locations yourself. You can use these pins. I don't care about the pins. Oh! Didn't mean to do that. Bro, the button. Ugh. I have to, like, take out that button. It's not good. For me. Let's go. Get to drink some water. Gold or blue? Gold. Or blue. Blue is the better option there. I hope I didn't trick you. I think I last slept at those bench. Rested at that bench. So we should be good here. Oh, this is back. Yeah, I'll take it. Blue it is. Oh, you listened the whole thing? Yeah, go blue. Gold is trying to trick you. It's not gold. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Whoa. What the hell? Yo, this is scary. The hell is that? Oh, shit. A lot of hits. Some weird ass location, bro. This is like underground. The gold is pirate. What was the blue? I don't know if that's good or bad. Whoa, we never had access to this. We've never had access to this. It was always closed, unless it's a different one. Oh, shit. That's so cool. Jesus, they attack a lot. It's like aristocracy or something. Oh, shit. Oh my god, it took 4 hits. This is so cool, bro. This game's actually really good. Like, I'm really enjoying it. No joke. No joke, enjoying. Oh my god. I never had a map for City of Tears, huh? Let's go. Oh, shit. Why was I doing that? I had so much... Can you, like, let me heal? Let's go. My god, I'm gonna die. No! Oh, what was I doing? I thought I died already. I'm an idiot. Wieners. What's up, Churro? What's up, bro? Shit, it's so far away. Hey, gamer! The gold is parrot. It was blue. Let's go! Stopping by to say hit to ping pong. You mean hi? Huh, English. Must be a hard language for you. What are you, a foreigner? Oh, that's so mean. Don't worry, guys. My parents are foreigners. I wouldn't be that mean. I mean, hi. I type too fast? Apparently, you did. What? Did you just wasted wieners me? You were a bit late there, but you are accurate, so. Shit, bro. Ah! Why are they so fast? Ugh. Wieners! You're so excited for wieners today. Kind of sussy baka. I was on TikTok and there was a Chinese woman teaching how to say ice cream, but I already knew it from John Cena. What is it? Bing Chiling or something. I forgot. John Cena's Chinese is honestly godlike. It reminds me of when I was in China. And it just gives me the fondest memories of my childhood. Really. It really gives me memories of my childhood. Alright, chill out there, bro. You don't know how to use a sword. You were in China? No, I was just bullshitting. I've never been to China because, ew. No, I was joking. I actually wanted to go to China. I found the trick, guys. Bro. I just healed for what? Can you stop hitting me? They're so annoying just because I can't fly. So racist. Ah! This is so random. I'll look at chat in a moment. Ah! What are you hitting, bro? Woo! Anyway. He knows the pogo strats. Hell yeah, baby. Yo, I'm on that mobile. I'm lucky to see your stream on that same day. Hell yeah, baby. Also, wieners. What's a chimichurro? You're really in love with wieners today. Is this churro or his son? It's like chimichurri, but Mexican. Yeah, I don't know what chimichurri is either. An uncooked sauce we use both as an ingredient in cooking and as a table condiment. Interesting. Is it kosher? Or is it pork filled? Oh, I actually got something out of that. What? Nani kore? Doesn't his footsteps sound like he's jerking off? It's like... Sounds really hot, but, you know. Can't say that. I already forgot which way I went. I really like the City of Tears. I really like it. It reminds me of my childhood. Let's go. Parsley, garlic, olive. Oh shit, that actually sounds really good. Maybe I'll ask my mamacita. Not my mamacita, my mom. Maybe I'll ask my mom to make me something like that. Ah! Let's go. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. You can't even lie. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. Chimichurri. 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 I'm gonna try to remember that. Chimichurri. Chimichurri. If I say 10 times, will it work? Yo, they come out of nowhere. I love when they block it, bro. It looks mad sick. Let's go. Beseru rangumento da. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to say, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, mama. I hadn't meant to hurt you. No. I didn't mean to make you cry, but tonight I'm gonna touch your mama. What? Don't want to deal with it. These are literally just people. I'm killing people. How crazy is that? I feel like the lore of the game's gonna be like, yo, you're killing people, you're terrible. Oh. Besseru fragmento da. I gotcha. You see, now that I know what it is, it's easy to read. Easier to read. Isn't it crazy? Oh my god, how crazy the language is. Isn't it crazy how... Oh my god. What is Lando illustrations? Great question. Watch my YouTube video to find out. I did a versus against Lando. He might be in chat right now. I did a versus against him. Nothing important. Aww. That guy could have just killed me, actually. What the hell? I did a versus against him and I lost, so I have to have that for a week. I think tomorrow or the next after tomorrow is the last day I need to have it up. It's been terrible. I've been losing my kids. I lost custody of my kids. I lost my wife. She left me. Even my like cousin, who's my best friend in this entire world, is just not tired of me and doesn't want to talk to me because I have Lando on my screen now and I lost. And I don't know if anyone heard that because there's an ad playing now. So subscribe so you could hear it. Yo, he could actually swim? Damn, that's cool. No maidens? Nah, the maidens still stick around. They don't care. Whoa. Guys, I'm so good. I came to an area of the game that you're not supposed to be in yet. Look, everything's broken. Maybe there's a restoration thing. Look at that crying. Did anyone do the question of the day? Yes. But usually people don't, so thanks for doing it. People didn't do it in a few days, so... King Station. Habanero pepper? That makes sense. Ew, ads. Oh, I thought you were about to say it. Couldn't be me. This guy's actually good. Oh, shit. Did he take 2 lives away from me? Oh, shit! He did! I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet, guys. Shit, bro. I don't know if I should do this. He's actually a beast. I think I should come here later. Ah! Stop! I can't move! Stop, 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 stop. You are, but you missed the bench, so don't die. I didn't realize I missed it. I thought I just didn't have access to it. Like this bench? Or a different bench? I need... Ah! If that little guy killed me, I would have punched myself in the face. Aww. You didn't have to do that. Well, you had to so you don't get ads, but... How hot is a habanero pepper, by the way? I'm kind of curious. Thanks for the sub, man. There it is. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub, Blando. Yeah. Yo, that was my best in a while, man. You should feel grateful for that. And I should feel grateful for the sub. Thank you for the sub, man. I forgot you do that. I don't have to if you don't want me to. But it would hurt my feelings. Nice. Thanks. You don't think it's that hot? Oh, okay. It's not that hot by pepper standards, but I've had a few plain and they aren't incredibly pleasant. Fair enough, fair enough. As you guys know, I am a connoisseur of hot food. That sounds really weird to say. Can I not make my way back up there? Bro. Or am I dumb? Oh, I am dumb. I forgot I could dash. Should we tell him? Oh, tell me what, babe. Oh. Oh. I just realized. You should buy the... Thank you, doctor. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Sometimes I have... Oh my god! There's a toll thingy here. Sometimes I have this really, like, wholesome and filling feeling in my heart when I'm streaming. And it just makes... It feels so good. That's what I feel right now. And it's because you guys are here. I don't want to get too emotional. But I'm pretty serious. It just feels like good vibes now, you know? You should buy the last dab and try it on stream. Honestly, I had the spiciest ramen. I think that's crazier, no? Also, I had a friend... Let me message that friend right now, actually. Let's see if he comes through tomorrow. Guys, I'll call him on stream. Should I call him? I'm going to call him right now. What? Yo, you're on stream.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? So are you coming tomorrow? Are we gonna do the thing?
What thing?
The thing.
Doing the thing?
The last dab and stuff.
Yeah, if you bring it to the person's house that we're going to.
Okay. Never mind. I thought you had all of them.
Wait, I only have one of them.
Ah, you suck. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All of them.
I don't know.
I thought you were... Isn't this your idea?
All right, I'll talk to you later.
I could bring one.
No, because you had a bunch of them last time we were talking.
I only had...
The last stag? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I only had 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it's home. I mean, I had it like, I bought it like a year ago or something like that.
All right,
Sure.
all right. It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to.
I'll check if I still
It's
have
okay.
it.
I'll
Yeah.
cry. I'll cry myself to sleep. It's okay.
Alright, I'll see if I have it.
All right. No, it's okay. But I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Oh, he's so annoying. So yeah, never mind on that. Now I have my name on your stream twice. You do. Yo, what's up, Nathan? No music playing. But what's up? I hope you're doing well. And good luck on the art project. Go do it. Love you, bro. Okay. This says the last stag. So this is the last stag. I don't know if it's the last... I probably missed a bunch in between, but it's the last one. Named, of course, of the king. King never rode the stagways, but I heard he was a glorious bug to behold. Damn. Cool. Sad? I thought it was... Bro, my memory is so bad. I thought it was due today. Is it not due today? He means himself... The creature is the last stag. Oh. Did it always say the last stag? And I just never realized? Am I that dumb? Wait, don't answer that. I did my 1 and 2 value setting. All I need is 3, 4, 5, 6. Value setting? Oh wait, let's come back here next time. You get more lore the more stations you open. That's new. Okay. You do have your name twice on my stream. Consider it a privilege. Not many people can say that they've had their name on Ping Pong Mooster's stream more than twice. I don't know. Look up art value so you could know. Art value. Oh yeah, we got an actual artist here. I forgot. I really don't want to be in this area anymore. Oh, I have a map for it? I didn't even realize that. Oh, because it's still the City of Tears. All right, we're going to try to connect to the bottom here. I guess I could fall. Whoa. Haha. Why am I killing all these random people? Oh, shit. I thought you were dead. What the hell? Huh? What do I still hear? Oh, what the hell? You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You suck. You suck at video games. Do you not realize you're dying? Jesus. Let's go. That was beast. You can't even lie. You must be proud of me, guys. Was it just a lot of money? I mean, I'll take it, but... That's weird, man. The rich people hoarding their money away and they're scared or something? I showed PP an eye that I drew and fucked up the tier. You did, but it still looked cool. Did I just break everything in here? Self-pay trade for school? Yep. If you want to see artwork, by the way, guys, check out Lando. He's... Ah! Oh my god. Okay, I'd rather get hit by you by the other one than the other one. Check out Lando. He is an artist that's good at art. A door with a simple lock. I need to get more of these locks. And also his name's on my screen, so you know he's cool, I guess. Can I jump here? Bro, what the hell is this? I love how he just ignores me. He's like, you suck. I'm not gonna... What's this? Thanks to the shout out twice. Of course, bro. There you go. There's a true shout out. You can see him on screen while I die, doing some artwork. But you can't see his face, because my face is there. Thank you, Nathan. Oh yeah, let me look up art value. Art value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Line, shape, color, texture, and space. Ah, I'm not gonna remember that. I think we've seen this one. You don't have many clips, I'm guessing, yeah? I have way too many clips. Not trying to flex or anything. Mostly because I made a lot of clips. For... It did show on stream. What do you mean? I made a lot of clips. Oh, show what the art stuff is? I already X'd it out. I'm too late. What was it? Line, shape, color. Oh my god, I almost died. I'm a beast. Oh, we came here before. Shit. Wait, was that guy that we chased earlier the Hollow Knight? And also... Oh my god, I can't get back up now. Shit. No. Yeah, art. Apparently there's a lot of values of art. There's 5, there's 7, there's 8. Line, shape, color, value, texture, form, and space. Line. Oh, I actually was trying to teach myself art, and I was learning line and shape, actually. I didn't realize I was learning it, though. It seems so weird to me. I didn't lock myself out. I basically can't go this way now. I have to go back the other way. So I kind of locked myself. But it's fine because that area is hard anyway. Oh. Oh, never mind. I got excited. I don't think I went this way. Yo, this game doesn't let you soft lock, bro. It's such a good game. Never mind. I was here before. We'll just go up. I don't think I've ever made the ones on there are the ones chat made. There's a lever to connect it. You just didn't hit it. You locked yourself out. Are you serious? Oh, that's actually so annoying. Can't type today. It's okay, bro. I forgive you. Bye. Do I have to go all the way around again? I don't want to do that. Ah! Kill yourself? You want me to kill myself? That's kind of mean. Now I'll just go this way. I haven't explored a lot of this. Oh. Maybe I'll just kill myself. But then if I kill myself, I have to come back here. Oh, but I'm going to come back here anyways, what you're saying. Art is weird to me. I'm barely getting a beat. Thanks for my copy. Honestly, art is weird for me too. Hard for me. So I understand your pain. Isn't this the City of Tears or something? Why does it have all these flying guys? Okay. Oh, I could see how this is bad now. I could see why you're saying to kill yourself now. I see. Too bad PP doesn't have a copy eye. What do you mean by copy eye? How do I kill myself? Don't try this at home, guys, but how do I kill myself? Oh, I remember dying here a lot. I'm full everything. It would be so sad if I killed myself. Oh, I know how to kill myself. Watch this. Oh, no, I have to do that one by one. Or I could just... Guys, I hope I don't die. I hope I don't die. I'm gonna have to come all the way back here, though. That's gonna be annoying. Without dying. Oh, it looks like the path is kind of connected now. Looking, then copying almost perfectly. Or good. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have much, okay? I'm just a regular guy. Okay, that's my appeal on Twitch, okay? He's just a regular guy. I don't know. That's a song, right? You have it? I know. You told me before. Did not mean to do that. Can you move? Ah! Bro, this game is stupid. I shouldn't have listened to you, doctor. Oh my god. It's 1,300 goddamn coins down the drain. I shouldn't have listened to you because I have less confidence in me than you do in me. Oh, I suck. Thanks for the lyric, bro. Guess what? Chicken butt. What's up, bro? What's up? I'm such a triggered little stupid. I don't want you, you stupid shit. Oh, now it's so easy to pass them, yeah? Yo, this guy's actually, like, insanely annoying. It's okay, you can get that money back. Alright. I'm gonna be subbing for my... What? You're gonna be subbing for your math teacher? Oh, I didn't see that secret spot, but I'm not gonna go there now. That seems pretty crazy. Well, I don't remember. Oh no. We were gonna go there later. Where am I supposed to connect this shit? Oh shit. No, this is where I screwed up last time. This is where I screwed up. Oh, it's right here. Jesus. At the bottom? Yeah. I'm so good and they're gonna pay me in something I want that is not money at math? What are they gonna pay you in? They're gonna pay you in math grades? Is your math that good? That's cool. Bitches. Sheesh. Should I break that thing? I guess I should break it. Cool. That's all that was there, just to connect it, and I couldn't even do that. Oh my god, look at all that in the middle. Look at all that unexplored stuff. I feel like there was a there was a path here. Free dress without of school lunch, so I get to order food. What, free school lunch, you mean? Or what? I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to say. Does this not lead to anything? It shows like it does. Am I dumb? Don't answer that. Or was it here? I don't remember. Maybe I don't have access to it yet. No, restaurant food? What? The answer is yes? Oh, that's sick. That's so cool. Why did they do this for you? Were they just like, yo, you're mad good at math and the math teacher is gone? That just seems crazy to me. We're not versing those guys. Oh shit. Oh, I was about to say I got so lucky. Jesus. The hell is this, bro? I feel like I might have missed some cool stuff, but I love how this game goes so... Oh my god. Oh, another tree! I forgot how to do this. You have to hold... Yo! Let's go. Jesus. I need 100 of these. I already found the second batch. That's so cool. What? Wait, you can order any restaurant food? That just seems insane to me. What restaurant food are you gonna order? Oh, this seems like a really good place to put these things. They're probably all gonna be in places like this. Shit. How do I go there? I was getting stuff ready since it's easy for me, and I managed to beat her in a race in geometry, so I provide myself. Prove yourself? Cool. Bro, how do I get up there? Do I jump on this one? Oh, maybe I just have to go back up? I'm guessing I have to go back up to get it. Or that's the easier way. The hell is that sound? Oh shit. That was sick. I can't fall there. Yo. You can order Chick-fil-A? Nice. Can I jump there? Oh, I could. Oh shit. Bro. These guys are so annoying. But it makes sense. Oh my god, because they can literally fly. What if I just ignore him? Yo, this is such a weird land, bro. What the hell? That was pretty cool. Their chicken nuggets are the best. Are they? I feel like I haven't had chicken nuggets in a while. I don't think I could fall down there. Maybe I could, but... Oh, maybe I could. Whoa. Yes? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, this reminds me of Jump King, this game. I know it's very different, but... No, there was a key or something there. Wait. This place has, like, no music. Oh, there's so many of these things I need to buy, I guess. Is this where I came from? This is where I came from. This is so weird. It's another one. Ah! Oh, I thought I just died. Where am I going? Oh, shit. The hell? How do you have a sword, bro? 6. Okay, that took 7 hits to kill. Shit, I forgot about his sword. He only hits for 1 though, which is nice. Jesus. You should try if you can get it. Maybe I've had chicken fillet before. Chick-fil-A. I'm not sure. That looks sus. Oh shit. Boss battle. How does a sword reach so far? Bro! I don't want to die here. Shit, bro. Oh, his legs are swords. Yeah. I'm gonna say the game got harder, which is pretty cool. But there's so much to explore here. That is sad. I didn't lose much. So there's still so much to explore. Jesus. We're only halfway in terms of the amount of areas we've gotten to, and we haven't fully explored. But I think I'm gonna end stream there. The day. Oh, you're gonna be teaching on. You're gonna sub on Monday. That's so cool, bro. I hope you enjoy it, man. I hope people respect you as a teacher too. My God, this guy gotta chill. You're always talking, bro. Like, chill. I don't need to hear every 5 seconds. Yeah, I know today we didn't get through much of this game. I mean, I feel like we did quite a bit, but I'm subbing in some math holiday, Pi Day. Oh, that's what you're trying to say. Sorry. Oh, March 14th, yeah? 3.14. Are you gonna do some Pi related stuff with them? Yo, should I raid Emily, the girl that's doing the subathon? Dinelle would get happy. Well, I don't know if Dinelle's here, but let's see if he's in her chat. Oh, he's not. He's not anymore. Lamau. Oh, she has lights in her room like me. Let's see. Rosemary is streaming. Jimmy is streaming too, but I feel like we haven't. Rosemary rates me sometimes. I feel like we should rate her. Oh, she's actually playing a game I wanted to play with you guys. It's called Stream Raiders. She plays a lot of Pokemon. But this game's called Stream Raiders, and you basically like raid. Like you use people in the chat to like do stuff. Oh yeah. The teacher is going to leave me some pie. Nice! To give out to the top there. That's cool. That is definitely cool. But yeah, if you want to get some free points, you could help raid. And if you just want to see a whammon instead of looking at me all the time. Before we raid though, I have to do. Oh, I hope it doesn't raid too soon. I have to thank everyone. Thank you for the sub, Lando. I think we got one other thing happening too. I'm getting some since the smarts in the class. There's smart people in the class. Thank you, Raiders. Decided to spend PPP. Everyone, thank you for being here. Honestly, you guys make it worth streaming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for using ping pong points. Thanks for gifting subs, for talking to me. It's hard to do, for subscribing like Lando did. And yeah, I don't think anyone else subscribed today. I don't want to miss anyone, but I don't think anyone else. Dick cock. Nice. All right. Oh, I've been recording this whole time by accident. Oopsies. Didn't mean to do that. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
7 minutes, okay. Say it once, now say it twice. Gonna play with fire, gonna roll the dice. Hey, it's Ping Pong Masters! Thank you for the raid, Ping Pong Masters! Welcome in, everyone!